So that's best practice. That's all good. I'm focused. I'm in the game. I'm communicating.
Yeah.
You must have seen some absolute shockers when completely the opposite's happened, and mentally the keeper's shot. Never mind, he's let in a ridiculous goal. But what shouldn't I be doing? Pre-game, warm up, whatever. What's the
I think with the for some reason I've just remembered me playing in a game as a kid. I remember watching an EasyJet flight going over my head because we were about 18-0 up.
Yeah.
And I'm staring at it, and then all of a sudden, it was like being in a dream. And I can now hear people shouting my name. But for some reason, I've not reacted. I'm still looking at this plane. And obviously shouting because the ball's coming close.
It's got junior football written all over it, hasn't
Goal.
it? I coached my son's under 15 team, and I must have seen that happen with the keeper exactly. It was probably on an EasyJet flight, but I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
Because you said you can't. How can you concentrate? You can't.
It's
Particularly
so
if you're 10-0 up, which again, junior football is quite often
course,
it's 10, 15, 20 goals.
Yeah.
Okay. But at pro, what have you
pro
seen?
Level.
Pro level. You're going to get nobody's going to do that at pro level. You're not going to be watching an EasyJet flight, one would hope. But
no,
the equivalent of.
Yeah. I've seen some stuff. There's a few stories that I definitely can't say on this one.
Okay.
But yeah, it might be a private chat room or something on WhatsApp. But one I must say this. There's one story talking about preparation, right? We had a goalie. We're talking about. I know we're talking about the mental side, but I'm trying to think on the physical side as well.
Same as preparation. It's the same. It's all about this podcast. This app's all about preparation. We talk about mental side. We talk about physical to some extent.
Yeah.
We can touch
but giving yourself
that,
the best opportunity, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Before the whistle goes.
Yeah.
There was a goalie at Fulham. Sherratt was his name.
Okay.
Right. And I think he must have been about 26. I think he was at the time. Anyway, there was a reserve. He was third choice. I think it was Mark Swalzer, then Stockdale second choice, and then Sherratt was third choice. Anyway, so there's a reserve game, under 23s game at the cottage, and done a warm up, all fine. Didn't really notice, but he didn't have new gloves on. Didn't really notice it, but he definitely didn't have new gloves on.
Right.
Come back in after the warm up.
Yeah.
He then just about to come out to stand in the tunnel before they could walk out. And I've now noticed, and I don't know why, I've now noticed him putting new gloves on. Brand new gloves. But we've just come in from the warm-up. Now, how I've analysed this is, as simple as this, it's bucking it down. Simple as that, right? Forget the wind at this point, it's bucking it down. So anyone that knows that a few years ago, when you got new gloves, they were shiny, you may as well not have them on.
Yeah.
Waste of time. Unless you prepare them properly, as you'll know.
Yeah.
And he walks out. Just before he walks out, he goes to me. He shows me his hands with his gloves on. And he goes, "Do you think these will be okay today?" And I'm waiting. I'm paused. So I'm going, he's going to laugh, surely.
Yeah.
No laugh.
No, yeah.
Look up at his face. He's dead serious.
These shiny gloves. That
shiny
he's
gloves.
shown that the rain is bouncing off the gloves. Yeah. Okay.
So imagine having a pair of gloves. Imagine putting your hands with Tesco bags on.
You're nice. Yeah.
That's it. In the wet. So I'm thinking the guy's 27. He should. I went, what? Like, listen, it's up to you. However you see it. I can't get involved in that. He's about to kick it. If I go, you can't wear them now.
Yeah.
I throw them off. No, it's a 23 game. Go on, you'll be fine. Like, it's up to you. So as we walked out, I think Marcus Bettinelli was on the bench. I think that game. As he walked out, we're walking out of town. And I've got a bit. He's got a brand new pair of gloves on. He went, no, he hasn't. Like, he's pouring down. Of course he ain't. I'm telling you, he's got brand new pair of gloves on, right? Anyway, first 5 minutes, they get a free kick. 25, 26 yards out. They beat it, and you know what's coming. Dead straight his hands, it's gone straight through. Full contact on gloves and gone straight through his hands. And Marcus he's looked at me, we're all goalies. He's looked at me and I'm like, don't even look at me, I've got to look the other way. And it's like, talking about preparation.
Yeah.
You can't wear new gloves in them conditions. You can't do it.
But I think it's the general point, isn't it? It's probably a good point for this action is actually preparation of your equipment.
Yeah.
We talked about kind of mental and getting yourself in the right place, but prep of your equipment is. I mean, you've got two tools. You've got your boots.
Yeah.
And you got your gloves. Really. Well, simple things, and I see it, and again I see it particularly in junior football. I've had a training session. I've had a really hard training session. I've touched the ball. We've done an hour, and maybe it's raining, and my gloves are dirty and they're muddy and they're wet and they're stinky, and they're in the bag.
Yeah.
And I got a game 3 days later, and they come out the bag in the dressing room. I mean, clearly they're not prepped because they're wet and they've got stuff in the latex. The latex isn't going to perform well. So those little things, we during lockdown we did a lot of podcasts. Myself and Roy Carroll, who's our brand ambassador, we did a lot of Zoom calls with academies.
Yeah.
And the academy keepers, a lot of the academy keepers have been taught how to behave themselves and carry themselves and all these sorts of things. And maybe they get some advice on, if you're going to be earning money, how to look after your money and things like that. They don't get advice on how to look after your goalkeeper gloves. If they're really lucky and they get to the top of the game, they're going to get free gloves and they don't need to worry about it because they can bring out a new pair. But a lot of them won't. What if they're walking on a pitch with muddy, crappy gloves with dirt all in them, and they haven't washed them, they haven't cleaned them, they haven't dried them? It's not going to help the performance. Same with boots. I see, you must see it with your boys. Boys, clean your boots.
Yeah.
Clean your boots. Because if you're going to go on a pitch with muddy boots, so I guess again we're talking at all levels of the game, but that equipment prep, I think in my mind, massive. I guess because we're around the equipment side of things from our brand, it's got to be an important part as well, surely.
If anyone that's listening or watching has been a pro or a semi-pro or obviously at adult level, walking into the showers after the game butt naked with just gloves on, for me, is just the way to do it. You finish the game, win, lose, draw, good game, bad game, irrelevant. The minute you walk in and you're showering after the game, wash them in the showers. My wife can't get her head around it. Sorry, so you walk in naked with just gloves on. Yeah. Like, it's the norm.
Yeah,
for goalies, it's the norm.
I'm sure it's not a great look, but hey, as you say, it's going to make your gloves last longer and perform better.
Yeah. Completely, and they do last longer. Yeah, I remember even when I was, when I think I was probably at Cambridge United and watching and talking to a lot of goalies. They're their sponsorship deals that they may get 15 pairs, for example, a year. So, which is great. They're getting 15 pairs for free. Realistically, if they're using them properly, they're not going to last day in, day out for the whole season. So they would take so much care of them to go, I'm not going to buy a pair of gloves, I'm going to make these last. Every training session, they're in the shower, washing them off. And it is, and it's like, with the preparation, it's a massive, you're preparing straight away. And even at Pro Level, the minute the game finishes, whether you're washing your gloves for the next game or you're trying to get food into your system straight away, you're preparing for the next game instantly.
So let's talk about that quickly. So preparation for the game, mental, we kind of covered that. Equipment, we just covered that really. What about that sort of physical side of things? And I'm thinking, you just talked about food. What do I eat before a game? When do I eat before a game?
Again, this is very, and I've seen different scales of this immensely. Like from someone that'll eat half a slice of toast to like full-grown pasta, jacket potato, everything, carving himself up. Yeah. For goalies, I think again, it's the feel-good factor. If you want to eat a bacon sandwich before a game and it makes you feel good, great. Are you going to maximise your performance by eating a bacon sandwich? Probably not. Yeah. And the old guys may disagree and go, well, we had steak and a Guinness before the game. Yeah. We understand that. And that worked then. Yeah. But now it's a matter of just eating. For me, it's about eating just about enough that makes you content to get you through the game. And I've seen players, some, if you're, say you're playing away, and you've got an away game, and what a lot of clubs will do, they'll meet, in a hotel, and they'll have pre-match meal. The pre-match meal will look from boiled chicken, plain rice, pasta, jacket potatoes. Then you'll have the slightly lighter guys that have the cereal or the toast, like cut slices of toast. So again, it's very, very personal to how they feel and what they want. But I've seen goalies have fry-ups.
But again, I think that's quite interesting because a lot of things we're talking about we're talking about sort of marginal gains.
Yes.
So don't we go back to, Dave Brailsford? I'm a cyclist. the marginal gains in Team GB and then sort of Team Sky was if we can get little percentage gains, then collectively they add up and the big games. You go back to Clyde Woodward in the 2003 World Cup, and he was the first to bring in, new diet and exercise and so on and so forth. He was kind of the entry to the pro era of rugby. You go back to even maybe Wenger. Wenger comes into Arsenal, new diet and so on and so forth. And I don't know if you see this, but my feeling is in goalkeeping, I'm a striker here, or I'm an outfield player, and I'm going to be running pretty hard. Probably every position that I'm going to be running hard through the game. Yeah. My energy demands are completely different than the person here who's standing in goal, who needs a slow release of energy because there's no real spikes necessarily, but B, needs the energy to be able to concentrate. It's going back to this concentration. Yeah. I don't know whether this is being addressed or not, but I don't know whether you've seen best practice or not. But it strikes me there's a whole area there that, and maybe it's another podcast, maybe we get an expert to talk about diet and nutrition for a goalkeeper, but that's got to be part of that preparation.
Well, the 10k or whatever, 8, 10, 9, 10k, whatever it is that the player will cover in a game, is not what we're covering as a goalie.
Correct.
But we still match exactly what they're doing as the players. So after games they throw pizzas on the bus because it's away games. It's easy. They deliver it's easy. They load back up. But there's times where I've sat and watched the second choice goalie who's sat on the bench have exactly the same amount as the centre midfield player who's run 10, 12, whatever case.
And he's enjoyed himself. He's had a good
feed. He's loved it.
He's more than happy with that.
Oh, and I'm sitting next to him, by the way, eating the same thing, so I'm not shy of saying that. But you think you don't need, clearly, you're not going to need nowhere near as much as that, because they're burning so much more than we are.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. So preparation, we've covered up. I think we've covered all of the key topics. Let's just finish. Let's just talk about. I think the end of that preparation, just making sure you enjoy. One of the things that I say, and I know you say to your young keepers, but to keep it, just when you've done the preparation, make sure the final thing you just go out and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's enjoy. I say it as like enjoy making the decisions. Just enjoy it, because if you put too much pressure on yourself, you know what's coming. So just enjoy making the saves. Enjoy coming for crosses. The one thing I used to love doing was coming and catching a ball as a cross. And being hit a little bit from the back or the front, and then going down and completely milking it. You're on the floor now. Before the 6 second rule.
Yeah.
I'll be down there 48 seconds. I'm like, this is probably the only good thing I've done all game, so I'm milking it. And you're all going to wait for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, enjoy it. The one thing I notice now with football is there's very limited astroturfs where the people are just playing. Everything's structured, and it's like, how structured are we going to go with this? Is everything structured now, or are we going to lose the fun side a little bit? Played great games as a little five-a-side, didn't you? In the power leagues and stuff, and five-a-side, throw the ball in, let's go. There's no proper warm-up and proper... That's the fun side of it, And I think we need to, when you're playing a position, you need to enjoy the good times as well as, because the bad times potentially could be around the corner. That drop through your hands into the goal or through your legs, it's coming for every single one of us. So enjoy making the saves and enjoy playing the position.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant. Hopefully this is the first of a new series of developing goalkeeping. So we're going to be covering all sorts of topics over the next however many weeks, months, years. Yeah. Let's hope. So, hey, listen, if you've enjoyed what you've heard today, listen to the podcast, listen to the YouTube video, follow the YouTube video, follow us. If you go to patreon.com/developing goalkeeping, you'll find all sorts of different ways to subscribe, to listen to this content, and also to get some bonus content, some DG tips, so our kind of developing goalkeeping tips. So Martin's going to be throwing some nuggets in there, some little 10 seconds or 30 seconds or minute nuggets, little tips, just picking up on some of the topics we've talked about today, but also some of the topics further down the line. But hey, until next time, thanks for listening.